political leaders who will feel firsthand through the communities they run.
તમના પરિવારનો શાંતિ અને સાંત્વન મળે એવી પ્રાર્થના કરીએ છીએ. આ દુર્ઘટના પછી તમામ UK Indian community દુઃખ અનુભવે છે.
Reciting the Universal Peace Prayer, Shantipat. Harihi Om Madhyo Shantirantariksha-gum Shantihi Prithvi Shantirapah Shantiroshadhayah Shantihi Vanaspatayah Shantirvishve Devaha Shantirbrahma Shantihi Sarvagum Shantihi Shantireva Shantihi Sama Shantiredhi.
In all peace and peace alone. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti.
Tonight, we gather as one community, united in a moment of harmony amid an unimaginable tragedy. From temples to synagogues, churches to mosques, and places of no faith, prayers have been offered. This is modern Brent, a community bound together in grief. I am deeply saddened by the tragic incident involving AI Flight 171 in Gujarat. Across Brent, whether in temples, during church prayers, at vigils and local parks, or through lanterns lit in our borough schools, we have all felt the weight of this immense tragedy. My prayers are with all those affected and with the emergency and support services responding to this heartbreaking event several days ago and even today. In this moment of profound tragedy, India and the London Borough of Brent stand united. The United Kingdom and India, two nations bound together in a kinship rooted in the simplicity of love. With solemn hearts, we offer our prayers as they slip the surely bonds of earth to touch the grace of God. Om Shanti Om.
The tragedy which unfolded on AI171 last Thursday has left us all in a deep sense of shock and grief, individually and collectively. It is particularly a time of grief for the long-standing, proud and vibrant Indian and Gujarati community in boroughs like ours. Young children of all faiths and none on their way to make a life here in the UK. Elderly members of our Brent community who were desperate to see family again. Students, working professionals, all of whom were loved and valued by those who knew them. Tonight, I'm thankful to everyone for coming and showing their support for the victims and their families. I would like to take a moment to acknowledge the presence of Brent's MPs and the GLA member for Brent and Harrow. Your support and dedication to our community are invaluable. So thank you for taking the time out of your schedule to be here with us this evening. This gathering is a testament to the love and compassion that exists across communities, and I am grateful to each one of you for being here today. Thank you.
Jai Swaminarayan. Salam alaikum. Mr. Mayor, thank you. Thank you for ensuring that we could all come together this evening. But I think this is the most important gathering of all because it is our borough. It is Brent. And it is saying that we are their family. So many have lost loved ones from their family. Some whole families have been destroyed. Only distant relatives left. And what we must do is we must extend our embrace. It's been deeply distressing that many families have not been able to have the bodies of their loved ones identified, and returned to them. And that is not just a bureaucratic problem. I know that everyone on the ground in Gujarat is working incredibly hard. I've asked the Foreign Office to send pathologists from the UK to make sure that there is more capacity if they can use it. That's now happened, but so far those pathologists are not yet deployed on the ground in Ahmedabad. It's sobering, because as you rightly said, Mr. Mayor, these are not just individuals, these are families, these are people who have loved ones and friends who are part of wider communities. And that's why it's so important that we, as a community, celebrate their lives and embrace their loved ones. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti.
Grateful to the team of Brent, the Mayor, the Brent Indian Association, the Interfaith Forum, to bringing us together today, because we all, when we saw this terrible tragedy, I think we all felt deep grief and just the horror of something like this happening. And I personally knew a couple that were on that flight, and I think it is so important that we have spaces like this, that we can come together and be supported by the wider community. And I think what is deeply special about Brent, it is a place where people from different faiths, from different communities do support each other in tough times, do stand alongside each other, do provide comfort. And this gathering, which is, I think, so full of compassion and love, is just typical of that spirit of Brent.
It's
and I think
a sorrow moment. It's a moment for us to come together. And we all know many stories now and many individuals that were impacted and sadly lost their lives during this terrible, terrible tragedy that were on that flight. In Hinduism, there is a solemn moment, 10 days of sorrow, when someone passes away in your family. We can come together and remember those souls that we have sadly lost.
It is actually the epicenter for the Gujarati community. More than 30% of my constituents are originally from Gujarat. I want to thank him for the way in which his officials have engaged and the help that they have been able to offer. 3 of whose bodies have now been identified, mother, father and 2 adult children who are travelling together. But one of the bodies has not yet been identified. Can I urge him to try and do everything he can to ensure that the 4 bodies can have the necessary funeral arrangements celebrated together rather than waiting longer. He is absolutely right to say that it's important that this is done correctly to avoid further problems down the line. But families are in deep distress at the moment, and it really is important that we send every possible help to get the DNA testing done as quickly as possible. Thank you.
Minister.
Madam Deputy Speaker, I understand, since he mentioned the Indian High Commission, pass on my thanks to the Indian High Commission here, who've worked hard in order particularly to facilitate visas rapidly for family members able to go out and see their loved ones.
Guru Charana Saroj Raja Nijaman Mukur Sudha Varnav Raghuvar Bimala Jashu Judayak Phalja Buddhihin Tanu Janike Sumiro Pavan Kumar Bal Buddhi Vidya Dev Mohe Har Kalesh Dikha Jai Hanuman Gyan Gun Sagar Jai Kapali Shati Hulok Ujar Ram Dut Atulik Valadana Kanchani Kura Pavan Rutana Ananda Gora Jago Jitameja Bhagava Javo Jada Viraj Kane Mulya Jane Musane Sankara Tuna Kedrina Kedr Pratap Mahanagavata Priyavan गुणी अति चातुर राम काज करिबे को आतुर रामचंद्र के काज सवारे गाय सजीवन लखन जिवाए श्री रघुवीर हृदय उरलाए रघुपति कीनी बहुत बड़ाई तुम मम प्रिय भरत सम भाई ईश्वराय शिवरामेश्वराय हर बोले नमः शिवाय रामेश्वराय शिव रामेश्वराय हर हर बोले नमः शिवाय नमः शिवाय ओम नमः शिवाय हर हर बोले नमः शिवाय ओम 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 हर हर बोले नमः शिवाय श्री कृष्ण गोविंद हरे मुरारी नाथ नारायण वासुदेवा श्री कृष्ण गोविंद हरे मुरारी नाथ नारायण वासुदेवा
Jai Shri Swaminarayan and Jai Shri Krishna, and good evening to you all. And thank you to the Mayor and Brent Council for holding this important visual today. And I'm glad it's in the atrium. I'm glad it's in a public place because we are one family in Brent. Your loss is our loss. Your mourning is our mourning. Your sorrow is our sorrow. What happens to one happens to all, and when we all watch the unfolding of this on the TV, of this plane crash in India, it broke all of our hearts. And I thought about all of my constituents here in Brent. I thought about everybody at the mandirs and the temples and all what you will be going through. And I also thought about what I can do to help as your Member of Parliament. I've sent letters out to everybody. You know you've got my contact details, and I am always there to help.
Jai Shri Swaminarayan, Jai Siya Ram, Namaste, and good evening to all. I would like to thank the Mayor of Brent, councils, leader, and all councillors. Let's take this opportunity to release the past, mend broken bones, and cherish those around us. આ દુર્ઘટના આપને શીખવે છે કે જૂની વાતો ભૂલી જઈ અને તૂટેલા સંબંધને સુધારી લઈ અને આપની આસપાસ લોકોનો પ્રેમ કરતા રહી. Our former CM Vijay Rupani was on the plane. He gave his life to service of the people of Gujarat. He stood stand by stand with our Hindu community, encouraging our temples in Bhuj and Ahmedabad to expand the schools and welfare services. I was lucky enough to meet him during visit to Wilson Mandir a couple of years ago. And in India 2019 when he was a chief minister. હું તેમને મળ્યો ત્યારે ભારતમાં તેમનો હોદ્દો ખૂબ જ ઊંચો હતો, છતાં તેમની નમ્રતા અને ઉદારતા એ જોઈને એ વ્યક્તિ સાથે ગમે ત્યારે તમે વાત કરો ત્યારે એ તૈયાર જ હોય. In 2 weeks' time, our temple will be celebrating the 50th Jubilee celebration. We will be holding a special tune in memory of departed soul during this time. Last week, Sri Swaminarayan Temple Wilson held a special Mahapuja, mantra anustan, prayers and tune for the departed soul. It's our duty to do something for the peace those who unfortunately departed soul. જે આ આત્માઓને શાંતિ મળી છે તેઓના પ્રાર્થના કરીએ અને આપણે ફરજ બને છે કે આપણે હંમેશા તેને યાદ રાખીએ અને તેમની આત્માને શાંતિ મળે તેવી શુભ ઈચ્છીએ છીએ. This evening we light lamps in their honor, symbolize the path of the peace upon which their soul now walk. Let's join together and pray. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. May God bless all, and thank you very much.